Hello, everyone. Howard Gearhauser here with my dad, Dr. Richard Gearhauser. In today's video episode, we want to give you some more evidence that nothing can replace the morning sun, especially when it comes to resetting circadian rhythm and a whole list of other health benefits. The morning sun's critically important. It's something that is non-negotiable in our own lives. It's also non-negotiable in our clients' lives and my dad's patients' lives. So Dad, can you explain some of this new research and new evidence that's showing that the morning sun's super, super powerful and beneficial?
All right. Well, as you can see, I am not in the morning sun. That sun is straight up about noontime, but I still like to get sun as much as I can because, like so many people in our world, they're indoors way too much. So, as much time as you can get outdoors and expose yourself, the better. Now, we've had clients that we tell them, we want you to get up, we want you to find a place where you can view the sunrise. And a lot of times they'll say, well, I'm just going to use the light box my psychiatrist recommended. So they might have seasonal affective disorder where in the wintertime you get depressed because you're not getting enough sunlight. Well, they found that these light boxes, when they do studies, they actually elevate your mood. So they want to look at a light box because it's easier, or I'll just watch my TV and turn on the brightness. And we say, no, it has to be the sun. But we did this on intuition, and then we also did this on kind of common sense logic. So one thing about the sun is the sun has the blue light, which stimulates the photoreceptor melanopsin. So melanopsin sends a signal into the brain, into the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It sets our circadian clock. So that's one of the big things that's important with that morning sunrise is we have a chance every day. We don't always have a chance to modify things that are going on in our world, but here's our chance to set our circadian rhythm, which is critically important for our health, to set it every single day with that light from the sun. So we know the blue light stimulates melanopsin. That's a non-visual photoreceptor in our retina, stimulated by blue light, sets our circadian rhythm. So a patient says, I'm getting blue light in my light box. That's good enough. And in our experience, that wasn't good enough. That the people using the blue light box, still had problems. And then we also know that blue light, when it's isolated, is toxic. There's new studies coming out, more than one, showing that blue light causes damage to the retina. So the last thing I want to do is to cause adult retinal deterioration in my patients, having them look at a blue light. So we say, no, it needs to be the real sun, because when the blues bounce by the red, there's less damage because red is regenerative, blue is degenerative. To the retina. It does stimulate it, so it does set our rhythm. And lo and behold, new research coming out, just coming out of the University of Washington. This was a study that was published very recently. The name of the study, if you want to look it up, is a color vision circuit for non-image forming vision in the primate retina. Okay, that's a mouthful. But basically, what they discovered is there's another photoreceptor in the retina that before was thought to just deal with color vision. So we have in our retina, the visual photoreceptors are rods and cones. Rods are the photoreceptors for dim light. Cones are the photoreceptors for color. And so there's blue cones, red cones, and yellow cones. And what they found was a special blue cone receptor that not only was stimulated by blue, but was also stimulated by yellow, orange, and red. So as I said, blue is high frequency, more power. Red is lower frequency, longer wavelength. And so this photoreceptor that they thought only was stimulated by blue light is also stimulated by red light. And what they found was that this photoreceptor also was active in setting circadian rhythm, this cone. So we always thought it was only melanopsin. This was a cone setting circadian rhythm. Also, improved memory, improved cognition, and improved mood by having the whole spectrum of sunlight. And when do we have that whole spectrum of sunlight? It's at, no, the whole spectrum of visible light is at sunrise and sunset. So their conclusion was the sunrise and sunset has a really special action on our physiology that we didn't even know about before. So here it's where your intuition of do as our ancestors did, just get out there. Don't turn on a light box. Don't turn on your TV. Go out there and have those photons of light. So what is a photon? A photon is a packet of light. So light comes in packets, and that's part of quantum physics. And so that's why we call ourselves, quantum possibility. So here's the possibility for you to have a better circadian rhythm, which controls everything that happens in you, and have a better brain with more memory, higher cognitive powers, and be happier. The holy grail.
Yeah, and I think kind of a theme that we always go to is get back to nature, because it seems like there, especially nowadays where research and science is really exploding, that we're learning more and more about the intricacies of nature and kind of finding out that what we thought maybe even a couple of years ago as to how things works is a lot deeper than we previously thought. So when you just go and do the things that our ancestors did, you don't have to wait for science to catch up. Yeah, does it mean you have to eat your butt off the couch or your butt out of bed early to go watch the sunrise? Absolutely. Does it require action? Of course. Is it a pain at first? Yes, it is. But once you do it and you make this the new habit, you'll never go back. It's just, you feel so good. Your body feels connected. You literally are getting connected to nature. So go do these things. Don't wait for science to prove that you need to do it. Go do it now. We all have that intuition. We all understand common sense. Get more in touch with that and start doing these things. And that intuition will become even more clear, which is another side benefit. Anything you want to add about this study?
Well, getting back to the sunrise and the sunset, what's really special about that time is the UV light, the highest energy light, and means it has the lowest wavelength, the smallest wavelength, which is the ultraviolet light, is not present during this time. So you can't OD on it. Like ultraviolet light, if you're at high altitude or whatever, or you haven't been in the sun in months, the ultraviolet light can damage you. But here, right at sunrise and right at sunset, there's no ultraviolet light, so there's nothing at all dangerous about it. Now, there is something dangerous, as I said, about a blue light box. They won't tell you that when they try to sell you one. Now, it's interesting, though, these scientists at the University of Washington, kind of their comments in the article I read was that, hey, we're going to make a light that does this automatically, so you don't have to go outside. No, I wouldn't go with that. I mean, you never know. We have our clients get artificial lights to mitigate their environment when they're really up against, between a rock and a hard place. They live in Minnesota and it's 30 below zero and the sun didn't even come up. One of those anomalies where the sun just decided not to come up at all. So we tell that person, yeah, you might want to get an artificial UV light. You might want to get an artificial red light. So we're not against, trying to mitigate things with technology, but it's always better to go with Mother Nature, because the next study they're going to do next year to identify the other great thing that's so important that they haven't discovered yet, that they never knew that cones did this. They thought it was all another photoreceptor. Who knows what's going to change? Obviously, we know for sure the science is going to continue to advance at a breakneck pace.
And it seems like with the science, every time we put our observation into what's layers deeper, we always find something new. So that might not ever end. So the easy solution, stop trying to figure all of it out and just reconnect with nature, which, it's taken forever to figure it out. And then boom, there's your answer. It's really that simple. Just when you're connecting with nature, and we've talked about this before, especially with the morning and the morning light and the sunset light, no sunglasses, don't be covered up, no contact lenses, no prescription glasses. Don't do that. Go check out our video too that talks more about the morning routine. That'll give you some other things that you can do in combination with the morning sun, and you could do it at sunset too, that add to the benefit. Anything you want to add before we sign off?
No, I think that's great. These are things that are free. We should take advantage of them. They're going to make the biggest impact of probably anything you can do on your health.
One other thing to add just before we sign off, if you like this type of information and are interested in working with us, we will create a custom program for you. We'll look at all this stuff and get everything dialed in a very individualized way and support you through your implementation process. You can check out the link in the description. We'd love to have you. There's some information on there that will explain pricing and kind of what else is involved. So go check that out if you're interested. If not, make sure you're implementing the free stuff on the Quantum Possibility YouTube channel, the Quantum Possibility Facebook fan page, as well as the new Quantum Possibility Instagram, where we link to all this stuff. So hopefully we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks.